When I first heard Cocomelon was making a movie, I laughed. Like, an actual movie? What could possibly be stretched into 60 minutes from a show that usually spends 3 minutes repeating the same nursery rhyme with the energy of a flashing emergency alarm? But then I stopped laughing. Because this isn't just about a movie. This is about what we're feeding to kids' brains, and it's low-key terrifying. Let's talk about attention spans. Cocomelon has become the symbol of overstimulation in modern kids' entertainment. Bright colors, non-stop motion, loud looping music, jump cuts every second, zero silence, no downtime, no breath. The way it's designed, it doesn't just keep a child's attention, it hijacks it. It trains their brains to expect constant novelty, like a casino slot machine for toddlers. And that's not a stretch. Studies are showing that children exposed to super fast-paced media content, especially under age 3, have higher risks of attention-related problems later. And now, they've made a movie, a feature-length version of this content. An hour or more of pure, unfiltered, algorithmic dopamine shots for tiny developing brains. What does the Cocomelon movie even teach? Nothing. And that's the problem, it's not really a story. It's a series of hyperactive scenes where characters sing about brushing their teeth or learning the ABCs in a way that's so loud and fast, it barely gives the child a second to process anything. There's no real plot, no emotional growth, no moment of stillness. Just song, cut, dance, song again. Compare that to shows like Bluey or even old-school Sesame Street. Those shows understood pacing. They built in quiet moments. They showed conflict and resolution. Cocomelon just skips all that. Straight to a sensory sugar rush. This is digital junk food. The Cocomelon movie is the equivalent of giving a toddler cotton candy for dinner, and then being surprised when they can't sit still. It's fast, addicting, and it creates a reward loop in the brain that says, if this isn't moving, singing, flashing, or clapping, I don't care. And what happens when real life isn't like that? Boredom, frustration, meltdowns. We're raising a generation that finds everyday life underwhelming. Reading a book too slow, playing outside not stimulating enough, having a real conversation. Nah, where's the song? Parents. This isn't harmless background noise. A lot of parents throw Cocomelon on thinking, hey, it's educational. At least they're singing about numbers, right? But repetition doesn't equal comprehension. If a kid is zoned out, hypnotized by flashing lights and sound, they're not actually learning. They're just consuming, passively. And with a movie, the exposure gets longer and more normalized. That brain stimulation loop gets reinforced harder. You're not helping your kid learn. You're helping a massive media company farm their attention. Why is this even a movie? Because views are money, and nothing gets more views than a baby song on YouTube. Cocomelon is a content factory, not an educational initiative. And movies expand reach. They help the brand grow. They lock kids into the Cocomelon universe even deeper. It's not about quality. It's about quantity and keeping your kid hooked. The bottom line, the Cocomelon movie isn't just annoying. It's harmful. It's a sign of a bigger problem in kids' media, where more stimulation, crown better and faster, more smarter. But real development takes slowness. It takes reflection, boredom, stillness, things Cocomelon never allows. If we want kids to grow up able to focus, listen, engage, we need to stop throwing hyper-edited content at them like it's a digital babysitter. Because if we don't, we're not just ruining attention spans, we're rewiring their entire brains, and for the worse.